If there is one dish that you will come across in most of the menu cards of Indian restaurants, it is biryani. Today I will show you how to make a perfect biryani, and if you follow this video step by step, I assure you that you will be making that restaurant quality biryani, and I would say even better. All about the basics of making a perfect biryani every time. Let's start by marinating the chicken, for which we need to make a ginger garlic paste. We need ginger, a good amount of garlic, and a green chili, which is totally optional if you want to avoid the chili heat. And my friends, please make fresh ginger garlic paste for biryani instead of using those store-bought ones. If you want to make a good biryani, please use ingredients that are fresh. I added about 1/3 cup of water to my blender jar, and you need a smooth paste. If you see the paste is not fine enough, then add a little more water and blend to a smooth paste. Next, coming to the biryani masala, I use Shan biryani masala. This is not a sponsored video, but I love the flavor of Shan biryani masala. I find the Shan Bombay biryani masala to be too spicy for me, so I use the one that says only biryani masala or sometimes pulao biryani masala. You can use any biryani masala of your choice, and if you want to make your own, I have a very oldie-goldie video that I made a long time ago, the link to which is running on the YouTube card above. The Shan biryani masala has these whole spices in it. I like taking out these whole spices because it is very irritating if you bite onto a whole spice mixed with rice. What do you think I will do with these spices? Will throw these spices away? Oh no. Boombi cannot waste something so precious. I put them in a tea strainer, and I will tell you later what I will be doing with them. Coming to the marination. Here I have taken some plain unflavored yogurt, and I have given all the ingredient proportions in the description box below the video, so no worries. And then it is spice time. I added Kashmiri red chili powder. Please adjust the proportion of chili powder according to your preference, because the biryani masala also has added chili powder in it. Then I added turmeric powder and little bit of ground coriander. I used 2 tablespoons of that biryani masala. You can go up to 3 tablespoons if you want to be very spicy. I also added a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of oil. Then stir everything very well to a smooth consistency. Here I have taken chicken with bones. I have used a combination of thighs and drumsticks. Please do not use boneless chicken, and you want the pieces to be large. The yogurt spice mix goes in along with some chopped coriander leaves and a few mint leaves, which I like tearing up like this. Suddenly it clicked in my mind that I forgot to add ginger garlic paste. But thank goodness I didn't forget it completely, or else it would have been a disaster. Mix well and let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. I usually do this marination step first and then move with the recipe. So by the time all prep work is done and the onions are fried, the chicken gets well marinated. Coming to the onions now, which is an essential ingredient that goes into any biryani. Slice the onions not too thin, nor too thick, and try slicing them of more or less equal thickness so that they brown up all together at the same time. Now here comes the cheating part. A teaspoon of salt. The salt helps in taking out the moisture from the onions, and this will lessen your time when browning them, because the more water, the more time it will take to brown up. After applying salt, leave it for 10 to 15 minutes. I would also prep some saffron milk. I crushed a few strands of saffron in a mortar, added the crushed saffron to warm milk along with 2 teaspoons of Cura water. Please add a few drops if using Cura essence, or you can also use rose water instead of Cura water. Here I have 2 tablespoons of water, and I mixed just a pinch of yellow food color. Using food color is totally optional, and I am telling you, my friends, I do not like using it, but I am just showing you everything today that a restaurant does. To tell you the truth, adding food color is such an unnecessary step, but sometimes we are just so visually attracted to colorful things. Next, coming to the rice. You need good quality basmati rice. You need to rinse the rice several times till the water runs clear. My friends, I cannot stress enough how important it is to wash the rice to get rid of the surface starch. If you skip this step, your rice will turn out to be sticky. So when you see the water this clear, it's good. Soak the rice for 30 minutes and after 30 minutes drain all that water. Please set a timer for 30 minutes or else the rice grains may break when cooked. We will now start cooking. For making biryani, use a heavy bottomed wide pot. You do not want to make a biryani in a karai, nor you want to use something that is deep with a small diameter. Use a large wide pot so that the rice has enough space to fluff up and not get mushy. Oil goes in, and my friends, please don't be stingy with the oil when making biryani. Trust me, my friends, you do not want to deal with a dry biryani, and today I'm making this for 8 to 9 servings. Coming to the onions, see how much water has come out? Before adding to the oil, squeeze out as much water as you can and then add them to the oil. You do not want the oil to be too hot. If your oil is too hot, the onions will brown up as soon as they hit the hot oil, and that's not how we brown onions. In that way, the onions won't taste sweet. So the oil should be just warm to bring in that little sizzle to start with. Once you add all the onions, now you can stir them on medium-high heat. Come back to them frequently and give a stir. When you start seeing them browning up a little bit along the edges, lower the heat to medium and start stirring them continuously. Do not let go of your spoon because you want all the onion slices to brown up together. You start seeing the color changing from a light golden to getting deeper, but please do not wait for it to turn too dark chocolatey brown because that is inclining to getting bitter. Switch off the heat of your stove when it reaches this beautiful golden brown color, and you have to be very fast here because the color gets deeper in the wink of an eye, so my advice is not to wait till it gets too dark in color. Squeeze out the excess oil and place the browned onions on a plate lined with paper towels. I am not bothered if a few strands choose to stay in the pot. Loosen them out immediately with a fork, and then with another paper towel, I like to press lightly on top to get rid of that excess oil. Okay, heat back on medium and the marinated chicken goes in. Scrape out all that bowl goodness because you do not want to waste any of that. I added 2 bay leaves and stirred the chicken on medium heat till the juices come up to a boil. Stir it from time to time on high heat for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it's time for Mr. Potato to join the party. I know, but please listen to me before typing in that comment. Addition of potatoes to a biryani may be unthinkable to many parts of India, but potatoes are very commonly used when it comes to the eastern part of India, especially West Bengal. So leave it out if that's how you like it. And I used raw potatoes. I also added half of those brown onions, a teaspoon of garam masala powder goes in, and then lid on and simmer it on low heat for 20 minutes. We will now cook the rice. Take a large pot of water for cooking your rice. The rice needs to swim in that water, and only then the grains will expand and become fluffier. And remember those spices that I took out from the biryani masala? Those go in now. If you do not have a tea strainer, you can also put the spices in a cheesecloth. If your masala doesn't have those added whole spices, please do add some green cardamom, cinnamon stick and cloves. I also added a heaped teaspoon of shahi jeera. Do not worry if you do not have shahi jeera. I also added 2 dry bay leaves and allowed the water to come up to a boil. The water is now boiling, and if you are wondering why the water is looking yellow, that's because of those spices that I took out from the biryani masala. add a tablespoon of oil that prevents the rice grains from sticking to each other, then a tablespoon of vinegar which prevents the rice from breaking, and make